Part two of the class of 1984-1999 trilogy. My God, was this movie fucking awesome. It actually is a not direct sequel, but it actually has something to do with the first movie. It is written and directed by the same guy, and it is based on the same high school, Kennedy High. So it is technically part of the series, isn't it? Just, let's throw a stamp on it and call it. No, it really does have. So 1984, and then this movie is 1980 or 1999, explaining why the movie is so futuristic. So I could just talk about this movie for hours, but I'm gonna try my best to keep it. First most noticeably, like, the cast is just awesome. You got Malcolm McDowell, Stacy Keach, Pam Grier, the ever, scary Patrick Kilpatrick. You have Darren Burrows from, Crybaby and Northern Exposure. You've got the awesome Joshua Miller from River's Edge and Death Warrant. You've got, and then the main kid, Bradley Gregg. He's one of the kids in Nightmare on Elm Street 3. So, this cast is just fantastic. The movie just looks so cool. It's futuristic. It's set in a time where it's basically has this Escape from New York opening where it's telling you the whole world is overrun by crime and kids are out of control. And so, so the School Board of Education has called in this company called Megatech, and they have them, try to solve the problem. And their solution is to make these robotic teachers who come in and are going to discipline these kids and get their attention. They come in the school, and it's Patrick Kilpatrick, Pam Grier, and the other guy, I don't know his name, but he's great in the movie. All the teachers are great. I think that they all play their roles super well. Pam Grier is supposed to be like the more sexy one, and Patrick Kilpatrick's more like brute. He's the PE teacher, and the other guy is more of the intellectual. But so they very much, as the movie goes on, there's a big Terminator thing going on throughout this movie. Their vision is very Terminator. They have commands that they could pick from. Their exoskeletons, once the things really go down, are very, very, very reminiscent of Terminator. So a lot of Terminator, decent amount of Escape from New York, stuff like that. So he definitely drew heavily from both of those films while writing this. I think that it's fun because this series kind of reminds me, I haven't watched this third final one yet, but the series actually kind of reminds me of the Mad Max series, where the first one is set in just kind of a normal, regular world. And then the second one, with, just a really quick explanation, it's set in some dystopian wasteland where everything is now gone, and you just accept, like, oh, okay, now it's in an apocalyptic world kind of thing. This isn't in an apocalyptic world, but it's very much in a world where crime has taken over and they have to, like, quarantine a zone like Escape from New York. So I thought that was pretty funny that they just changed it so drastically. They didn't call it 1984 Part 2. So I guess technically, unless you knew back then, when this came out, this is probably a little bit before the internet, or 1990, yeah, definitely before the internet. People just kind of had to know that. So, Stacy Keach is just got such a great look in it. His eyes are all whited out, and he's got this white, like, little short haircut with this little tail in the back. It was pretty laugh out loud horrible, but just for the movie, it fits so damn well. There's just so much about this movie to say. There's so much awesomeness in it. It really was just an absolute blast to watch the whole fucking time. I take notes during these movies, and it just there's so much here to try to even like go over. The one-liners are hilarious. They're bad, of course, but they're hilarious. They hit they're supposed to be. Um, you know, once the teachers start getting, destroyed, they have these weapons. Each one of them has like a different weapon that's in their bodies. I love how, the plan is that if you can't teach a kid, you might as well just kill them. I don't even know breaking down any kind of plot elements or anything like that in a film like that is absolutely fucking pointless. It's not the point of the film at all. Um, as far as like the negative aspects is, as I just said, it's so nitpicky. It's like, why would they only make 3 robots for an entire school of kids, of like a couple thousand kids? And there's some quick cuts, like the main character gets into a fight with a gang, and then it just quick cuts away, and he's at home, or he's at school the next day. Like, you think, like, are they going to kill each other? Is this going to go down? Are we going to? And then it just cuts, and he's at school, and everything's fine. He has like a little cut on his face, and he's nothing. Like, it was very weird, but the film is so fucking crazy, anyways, that it doesn't. Stuff like that isn't really a negative. There was not a second in this film where I was bored. There wasn't a second of this film that I wasn't smiling. It was like literally smiling the entire film or laughing aloud. I was actually watching this at work, so people were definitely looking over at me like, what is this fucking crazy person doing? Some of the gore is good. The all practical effects very much looks like, a cheaper version of Terminator, but not like overly cheap. I really think like they put a lot of whatever money they had, they put it on the screen for sure. This movie does not hold back. There's lots of explosions, lots of kids with fucking guns. I mean, every kid has a gun in this movie. Street gangs, punker kids. They all have like, armored cars. And why they even go to school is beyond me. Why they would even show up, it's so fucking silly, but who cares? I mean, good. It's, the gore, there's gore. Mostly the practical effects are on the teachers getting ripped apart, and their animatronics under Pam Grier gets her whole chest open. You get to see like these separated Pam Grier robot tits with her whole middle missing, and it's just so good. The practical effects are so awesome. Some feel like stop motion animation, some feel like straight practical. There's no CGI at this time, so they really had to do everything. Man, I hope that the third film has any excitement. I don't know. I haven't looked up if the same director has done it or not. I know that it isn't anywhere near as liked. But there's one scene where this teacher takes the kids, and you think that he's going to beat the shit out of them or discipline them like in some harsh way by, punching them in the face or something. He throws him over his knee and just starts spanking him like fucking hard. And man, that just cracked me the fuck up. This movie's so good. This movie's so fucking good. If you like movies like Escape from New York, like, let's say you were watching something like Dangerous Minds, and you were like, I wish that instead of Michelle Pfeiffer, the Terminator was their teacher. That's pretty much this movie with an Escape from New York kind of spin. Almost like a more badass version of that Substitute movie with Tom Berenger. So anything, I'll watch this fucking movie many more times. It's so goddamn good. I'm very much looking forward to the third one. I'll let you guys know about that one. Anyway, bye guys.